Hello YouTube, welcome to today's video. In today's video we are gonna be talking about some gameplay thoughts or the durability update as it's been called that is coming out in patch 12.10, which is 3 weeks from now. And first we're gonna take a look at the statement from Riot on why they're making these changes, and then we are gonna go and take a look at what are the specific changes. So if you just wanna skip to the specific changes, then check the timestamps down below, and there will be a timestamp for whenever we talk about the specific changes. But quick gameplay thoughts, 5 out of 6. A look into what you can expect with the champion durability update in patch 12.10. In patch 12.10 we will be introducing some changes to increase the durability of every champion on the roster to reduce the overall amount of damage in League. We're looking to accomplish this by increasing the following stats: base health, health per level, armor per level, magic resist per level. This increase in durability also, I don't even know what this word means, necessitates some adjustments to the surrounding systems on the Rift to make sure they are correctly tuned relative to the increased durability. These include nerfs to sustain and buffs to Baron, turrets, and mana regen. Now, before we dive deeper into what to expect with this update, let's look at how we got here and why we believe higher durability is good for the game. Why more durability? Devs and players agreed there is currently too much damage in League. While tons of damage can be fun and exciting, we believe that increasing champions' defensive stats will be beneficial for letting players showcase their skill, by giving them more opportunities for counterplay and to live out their high moments. Before talking about the changes themselves, we want to reassure you that we aren't trying to create a meta where there are no kills by 15 minutes into the game. There are actually quite a few things we like in the current state of League. Some pros of lower survivability include a sizable amount of players enjoy high kill games. It leads to more exciting pro metas and rewards good plays with kills, which is much more satisfying than just forcing someone to recall. That said, lower survivability also has downsides which outweighs these positives. Lower survivability leads to game states where squishy carries and supports in particular struggle to have an impact in the game due to being one shot with low counterplay in too many situations. When you're dying so fast that it's difficult to tell what killed you, game clarity takes a hit, which leads to frustrating experiences. On live, combat can sometimes be overly rewarding when high threat champions only need to use a portion of their kit to secure a kill. Ideally, players should have to play around their champion's key skills to test to hit those satisfying combos, example set triple shuriken. Long term, we think poor skill tests make playing your favorite champions a lot less satisfying. Another issue we've noticed with lower survivability is that it creates abrupt and confusing teamfights and skirmishes when champions die so quickly. Sure, teamfights are hard to follow, limit the opportunities, players have to make smart decisions, showcase their skill, and ultimately aren't living up to the epic Clash of Legends fantasy teamfights should be delivering on. Since the teamfights are one of the most enjoyable parts of League, we want to create more opportunities for players to engage in those high energy game-changing 5v5s. Patch 12.10, what to expect? We still think that League is at its best with fast-paced, high-intensity combat, but now that it's gone too far in that direction, we need to rein it back a bit. We don't think any particular champion's items or systems are out of line, even if they may have contributed to the root cause. This is why we're increasing durability across the board rather than removing or toning down specific offensive sources. Here is an TLDR of what you can expect in your games with the champion durability update. Players will feel that their champions are dealing and taking less damage. Burst champions must commit more resources or be further ahead to get quick kills. Bigger windows of opportunity for counterplay. Skirmishes and teamfights will last longer. Champion durability isn't the only thing we'll be adjusting. Increasing overall durability has a lot of knock-on effects. Notably, sustain becomes more powerful in preventing champions from reaching burst thresholds. So we are reducing sustain across the board. Other side effects we are looking at include map elements, Baron and turrets doing less damage, champions running out of mana more frequently, and scaling champions staying alive more often to reach their win condition. We've proactively adjusted some of the more well-known variables over the past few patches and will continue to do so post-launch as they emerge. One subset of champions that will certainly be affected are burst damage dealers, not necessarily just assassins. We believe that champions should still be able to be burst killed, especially when out of position or playing poorly. High burst champions doing reasonably well should still be able to 100 to 0 squishy champions with their full kit, if they succeeded in passing their core skill test. If these champions are extremely ahead, multiple 11s and or thousands of gold, then we think it's reasonable for them to kill a champion with only part of their kit, only because they have passed their core skill test many times. For any given amount of lead, burst champions will have to press 1 or 2 more buttons than before in order to secure 100 to 0 kills. Our intent with this update isn't to over-nerf burst champions, so we will keep an eye on them to make sure they will land in a healthy spot. Monitoring the launch. With these sweeping durability changes coming to the Rift, we'll be keeping a very close eye on how they play out. We don't want to move to a meta where tanks become unkillable, burst champions are rendered obsolete, or where pro play becomes a snooze fest. So we'll be monitoring the role and champion balance extra carefully over the next few weeks. Our goal is to hit a sweet spot where all classes are viable, tactical combat has a good pacing, allowing for moments of skill expression, and the balance of snowballing and scaling are in healthy states. We're excited to launch these changes in patch 12.10 and are looking forward to seeing them come to life. Thanks for continuing to play with us and raising your concerns. Looking forward to seeing you guys on the Rift. So, this is why Riot are doing these changes, and now let's take a look at what are they specifically going to change. I'll leave all of this in the comment section down below so you can take a look at it yourself. But all champions will be from level 1 gaining 70 more health. They will get 14 health growth per level and 1.2 armor growth per level and 0.8 magic resist growth per level. Meaning that at level 18 they will get 308 bonus health, 20.4 armor and 13.6 more MR. Besides that, all heals and shields are reduced by roughly 10%. Then we have Grievous Wounds, which typically was 40%, has now been reduced to 30%, and the upgraded version was normally 60% and has now been lowered to 50%. Rune and item drain healing reduced. So Conqueror, Goredrinker healing got nerfed from 9 to 6 to 8 to 5. Maw of Malmortius Omnivamp goes from 12 to 10. Eclipse Omnivamp from 8 to 7. Riftmaker Omnivamp from 8 to 7. Emberknife and Hailblade, so the jungle starting item, from 8 to 7 as well. Divine Sunderer healing is from 7.8 or 3.6, depending on if you're playing ranged or not, down to 6 and or 3% max HP. Blade of RUNE King from 8 to 7%. Bloodthirster from 20 to 18. Immortal Shieldbow from 8 to 7. Vampiric Scepter from 8 to 7. And the Elixir from 15 to 12. So healing all across the board, nerfed as they said. And then some other item nerfs are penetration items. So Blighting Jewel, the item that builds into Void Staff, used to give 15 magic pen, now it gives 13. Void Staff used to give 45% pen, now it only gives 40 pen. Last Whisper used to give 20 pen, now it only gives 18. LDR used to give 35, now it does 30 pen. Cyril's Grudge should stay the same, and as of right now it is 30%, so basically the items will be more equal in terms of armor pen. But these changes are not the final changes, so these numbers can change, but as of right now this is how it looks. Sunfire damage from 12% per stack at max stacks 72%, now 10 stacks over 10% per stack and maxes out at 60%. Moonstone, Renewer, Heal and Shield Power reduced from 30% to 25%. Demonic Embrace Burn from 2% or 1.2 depending on ranged or melee down to 1.8/1.2. So for melee it's nerfed. Item mana regen increase. Shard of True Ice Shard of True Ice regen from 100 to 115. And it's only finished ward item, so you need to have it upgraded first. One's ring regen also increased from 0.75 for every 1.25 seconds to 1 per 1.5 seconds. Conditioning reduced from 5% to 4%. Baron Nashor damage is increased, so it now does more damage on basic attacks. Used to do 125 plus 8 per minute into the game, and now it's 150 plus 10 per minute. The maximum attack damage was capped at 435 before, now it's 520. And the Void Corrupting damage was 60 plus 20% AD to now 70 plus 20% AD. And then the last change are the turret damage has also been increased. So the outer turrets has been increased from 152 to 167, level 1. And it would normally scale to 278, now it scales to 391. Same thing for inner turrets, increased by 17 at level 1 and goes up to 427 now, used to go up to 305. Inhibited turrets, also 17 damage increase level 1. Used to be 305 at max, now it's 427. And then the Nexus towers, also 15 increase at level 1, and then it used to be 285, now to 405. These are all the changes. So now I want to round out the video with just giving my opinion on it. So for the reason that they're giving us, why they're nerfing overall damage in the game, you could argue, I have seen a lot of people complain, but I feel like it's more very specific champions rather than across the board. Nice to see that they still introduce 100 to 0 burst damage, but it will just be a little bit harder. Last time we saw a similar change to this, people used to kind of give up on very snowball builds and just go for more scaling builds. Especially assassins used to, instead of going for lethality item, would just go for Goredrinker and Black Cleaver. We might see that again, even though Goredrinker did get nerfed healing wise, but damage wise still the same. Same thing for Black Cleaver, right? So we might see champions go for more scaling builds and more tanky builds rather than more snowbally builds and squishy builds. The base stats level 1 make it so that normally people wouldn't get killed level 1, but it will make it even harder now to basically have kill pressure in the early game. Heals and shields being reduced. On some champions it will hit a lot compared to others. Grievous Wounds being nerfed could be pretty good. Nowadays it just seems like Grievous Wounds is just items that you buy pretty much every single game. It's rare that you will play a game without having to buy Grievous Wounds, so all the healing getting nerfed. As they explained, it's because of champions being overall more tanky. A lot of the penetration items also got nerfed, so not only do people get more tanky, but you also have less armor pen and magic pen to kill these extra stats that they are getting. And then it being harder to kill Baron. I like especially that Baron doesn't become more tanky, but it basically does more damage. And same thing for towers, that now it's more difficult to end the game due to the fact that towers will now kill minions and champions, whatnot, a bit faster. So overall, probably the biggest patch in this season that we've had so far. Pretty much all champions will get affected one way or another, because all champions are getting these base stats. A lot of champions are either healing, shielding, buying pen items, or healing one way or another. So we will see if these numbers will stay the same or if they will change. And yeah, that's basically what they have for patch 12.10. So let me know what you guys think about these changes in the comments. Do you think these changes are good? Do you guys think these changes are bad? And if you want to help out my channel, then leave a like on this video to boost the algorithm. And then otherwise, feel free to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. And otherwise, I just want to say thank you for watching and see you guys in my next YouTube video or on my next live stream on Twitch. See you guys.